Welcome to the Wed Pro Podcast, the show for wedding professionals and business owners.
Each month, we bring you top industry experts, business chat, and hints and tips to grow your business.
I'm Katie.
And I'm Roxy.
Welcome to the Wed Pro Podcast.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Wed Pro Podcast. Hello, Katie. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
Very, very well. Feeling very energized. I have to say in advance, I am sorry. I have got a sore throat, so I will try and stop the cough happening.
It's all right. We're here. We've turned up. That's what's important.
Got my glass of water and I'm ready to go.
Oh, bless you. Today we are going to be breaking down a subject that a lot of business owners can be a little bit apprehensive about, can't they? I know that we've definitely felt like that in the past. It's one of the reasons why we started our business, one of the reasons why we do what we do. But we want to take that subject and make it a whole lot less scary for you today, and that is networking.
Yeah, and this is one of those things that is very close to our hearts. It's why we do what we do today, and we're going to be chatting about how, we're going to make networking a lot less scary, because it can be scary, like you say. It used to give me the anxiety pangs, like 100%. I
think the word networking is really outdated now, and we need a better word for it, because I think it's just got connotations of like business breakfasts and rooms with people in suits, and that's definitely not what we do in the Wedding Business Hub. So for those of you that don't know, or you've joined our podcast really recently, we started the Wedding Business Hub in 2019 with a vision to bring accessible networking for wedding industry professionals, because when we had a business, we just couldn't find the places to network. Like, we were going to those sorts of meetings where we could find a plumber, we could find an electrician, somebody to help us build our website. And we seemed to be giving a lot of business away to people, but there wasn't really anybody in the room that could that knew anybody getting married or could point business in my way. And additionally to that, it's not just about sharing business around the room and connecting with other businesses in terms of a referral program or anything like that. It's also about having support from business owners that get it. And I found that I'd kind of go to these events and there just wouldn't be like-minded people in the room. So whether it was kind of seen as a bit of a wishy-washy industry that, very pretty and fluffy and not much business goes on in the wedding industry, which is absolutely not true, as we know. We work really hard, really, really hard. And there's a lot of business that needs to go on behind the business of any wedding industry. But also the kinds of issues or problems or challenges that I was having in my business, I just wasn't finding any kind of like-minded people in the room at all that could guide me through those, or say, okay, have you tried this, or have you tried advertising over here, or I've done a such and such profile on a directory and that's worked really well for me. There were no other kind of like-minded businesses around. So that's where the idea for the Wedding Business Hub came from in 2019. We wanted to create a community of wedding professionals that could come together for all of those reasons: for a support network, to be able to refer business to one another, collaborate on style shoots and projects and offers and anything like that, and then also to have like a really good core group of people that they can bounce ideas around off and refer couples to locally, etc. So that's where our events came from.
It is, and exactly like you were saying, we really struggled, didn't we, to get ourselves in front of the right people. And saying that, we had a bridal shop, because I was just thinking, I can only imagine the frustration for those wedding business owners that haven't got a premises, that can't even, have those conversations face to face because maybe they work from home, or, they just don't get the opportunity. And like you're saying, that is exactly how our events came about. We wanted to bring industry professionals together in an inclusive, supportive, just a great feeling kind of way. And the rest is history, or not.
Yeah. And that's it, like exactly what you were saying about that premises. One of the things that we found having a premises like storefront, because we were a bridal shop with kind of other bits added into that, was that a lot of professionals, at least on a weekly basis, wasn't it, at least, would come and introduce themselves and say, hi, like I'm local to you, this is what I do. Because it seemed like that was the only networking they were doing. And to be fair to them, really astute business people, because they were like, oh, okay, I'm going to go and find people locally that I can introduce myself to, introduce my business to, and make those connections. What we found was, as we were getting bigger and bigger, more and more businesses were coming to kind of introduce themselves, and it was taking us away from our clients, away from our work inside the shop, away from kind of what we were doing, brides, couples, grooms, needing fittings, anything like that.
Hashtag social club.
Yeah, it was like social club. And to kind of solve a problem that we felt was that we wanted to kind of have somewhere that we could go once a month, make those connections, have those chats, catch up with people regularly, nurture the relationships. It's not just about meeting people, it's also about nurturing that relationship so that you do become that go-to person to be recommended for whatever it is that you do. And we wanted to create that space. And that's what we've been doing since 2019. Obviously, you know, we had to change the way we were doing that during kind of the pandemic. But now, you know, networking events are back. We're in a much better space inside of the wedding industry. Like this year, we're kind of, the COVID weddings are done, all of those rearranged weddings are done, and we can get back to a little bit more normality in terms of our schedule and our diaries. You know, no longer are we kind of, have I got a free Tuesday here, or am I going to be free because I know I've got to rearrange X amount of couples that have still got to rearrange their COVID weddings. So we're definitely seeing more and more networking happening, and our events getting busier, aren't we, Roxy? Which is really lovely to see.
Oh, so excited. It's literally fulfilling my heart to see that our events are coming back out there and people are getting to meet with each other again, start building those connections up again in their areas, because that's so important. And I wanted to say, kind of on a personal level, regarding networking, and it is that word, like you were saying, that's so outdated, but we are still yet to find a better word, is that if you're somebody sitting there thinking, oh, you know, I'd never dream of going to something like that, it is so important that you, as a wedding business owner, have people around you for that support, for those times when it's going really, really well, so you can celebrate together, but also them times when maybe you're struggling with something, or you've got a pain point in your business and you're not sure how to solve it. Networking events and having that team around you is so great for kind of helping you move forward, because you can't do it all alone. It's impossible.
Yeah, it's not about what you know, it's about who you know. And I picked this up very quickly in business from a course that I went on, like a really introduction to business course that I went on years and years and years ago. And kind of all of us were in the same sort of thing, starting a new business and hungry for kind of learning, etc. And we made some really good connections on that table. And a few of those people stayed in my network for a really long time. Like one of them referred a bride to us that bought like a dress. Another one was able to hook my website up to the new domain that I bought that I couldn't figure out. So it's definitely not always about what you know, but who you know, because if you don't know it, they're like, you know, somebody else will. And I think as wedding business owners, it's really easy to spend long periods of time in front of your computer, just expecting opportunities to come your way. And not only is that like a lonely place, but doors rarely open on their own. But if you give them that little bit of a push, there can be massive, massive benefits. So, you know, like with Roxy saying that she didn't like networking, it was really scary to her. And, you know, we wanted to break that down so that it wasn't scary, because we know that one of the fastest ways to grow your wedding business is to grow your network. Like networking online can be absolutely great, like using social media or email, but nothing beats getting out there, meeting people face to face. Like people buy from people they know, like, and trust. So by getting out of your comfort zone and starting to build those relationships, you're going to get those referrals, because as wedding suppliers, we're in kind of a unique position that in order that we kind of work together and collaborate quite a lot. Like, a couple are going to be looking for a variety of different businesses to create their dream wedding, and couples will often look to their suppliers as a trusted source and will ask them for recommendations. This happened to us all of the time in the bridal shop, didn't it, Roxy? Like, we'd spend 2 hours plus with with brides in the changing room getting changed, and then we'd spend quite a long period of time with the groom's parties or bridesmaid parties, building that recommendation, building that trust up with that client and with that family, essentially, because we got to know everybody in their bridal party.
Literally everyone.
Yeah, we did. The dog, sometimes, yeah, and that is actually true. We've had, like, the dog has been brought along, hasn't it? Like, the kids, everybody. But if you're able to bring up like a network of contacts that are recommending you to their clients, like, you're going to see some great results.
Yeah, and actually that is still true. Even though we have not had the bridal shop for a long time, I got asked, one of my family members is getting married, and they were like, do you know anybody? I was like, of course I know people.
And word of mouth referrals are so highly trusted. And I think, yes, from friends and family, but I think sometimes it's missed that actually couples are booking other suppliers that they've already been through that process with. They've got to know them, they've got to like them, they now trust them, they trust them enough with their wedding, so now they trust their recommendations too. So if you can build up that kind of little black book of people that you can recommend others to, but also there are like friends within the industry colleagues that you've got good relationships with, then they are going to be recommending you to their clients too, which is honestly one of the fastest ways. And actually it's pretty passive once you've got into a regular habit of putting yourself out there, you've found your kind of people, you are showing up, networking with other business owners, then it's pretty passive, because those people, when they get asked, oh, do you know a great jeweler, do you know a great florist, or I've still not found my wedding shoes yet, or I'm looking for somebody to make me some thank you cards, like, your name will be coming up in all of those conversations.
Oh, it will. And actually thinking about it, as a wedding supplier who is, you know, chatting to a couple who's using the services, how much better are you going to look, and, you know, it's going to set you up as the expert if you are known people. Like, oh yeah, like, I know a great florist, or a photographer, or whatever it might be. They're going to be like, oh, okay, like, this person knows their stuff, so that's only going to be a good thing. Sorry, photography people.
So how do you get started? So you need to find a local networking group that you can go along to and book a place. Like, find a group that is specifically for the wedding industry, because it's going to mean that you are just meeting all of those relevant contacts. Like, there are groups like this meeting all across the country, which is what we do. And if we don't have an event in your area just yet, keep your eyes peeled, because we've got loads of them being arranged right now and coming to you really soon. You can also get in touch with us if you're interested in being a brand ambassador for us. A brand ambassador is a wedding professional in areas all around the UK who put on events for us underneath the Wedding Business Hub. It's a paid position. So if you're somebody who thinks, oh, you know, I'd love to network, I'd love to get my name out there in the industry, I would love some support in setting that up, girls. You get loads of perks to being a brand ambassador with us, don't you? So you get things from coaching to like paid to put on the event. You also get like PR, you get kind of access to our database, access to our kind of, we've got thousands and thousands of wedding suppliers all around the country, haven't we? So you get access to all of that help. So if this sounds of interest to you, we'll pop the details of how you can apply and get in touch inside of the show notes.
Yeah, we'd love to get as many of you involved as possible. So yeah, go and check that out.
So networking can often feel much scarier than it actually is, can't it?
Yes, sorry for the little nod. Like, I remember like the first time, so way back when I started like my wedding industry journey, I was a very shy, little tiny kind of person, not the Roxy that you see today. And then when I first met Katie, and then taught me so many things, and it was like, okay, we need to start networking now. That filled me with so much dread. But actually, as soon as you get in there, it's absolutely fine. But it's always those little anxiety kind of niggles in the back of your head, like, how am I going to introduce myself to somebody? What if I say something wrong? What if I feel silly? Like, all those silly things. But 100% coming from personal experience of someone that has suffered with like confidence issues, anxiety issues, you've got to put yourself out there. There's nobody that's going to hand anything to you on a plate like this. So you've got to push yourself, and I promise you will not regret it.
I think one of the great things about our networking events are that they're quite small. So it's not like WedCon where there's like 150, 200 plus people in the room, and speakers and big stages and all of that. WedCon is our national event where we pull everyone together, but our local regional networking events are small, friendly, like 20, 30 at a time. Sometimes they're a little bit bigger, but usually definitely kind of under 40 people. So everybody is able to make those really good connections to one another. And something that's good to remember as well is that everybody is there for the same reason as you. So everybody is there to network. So they're going to be willing to chat about their business and your business as well, and want to find out about you. We don't have kind of any sales pitch in our at all, do we?
No, we don't. We do not.
People come to our networking events to meet other people, not to be sold to. There's none of that kind of, oh, stand up and tell us what you do. They're really informal and places where you can nurture natural relationships with the suppliers who are serving ideal clients the same as you in your area, or suppliers that you want to get in front of, such as venue owners or planners, etc., or just to build up that network of people that we were saying. The best thing that we kind of can give you is to ask questions and listen to the people that you're talking to. Like, wait for them to ask you what you do before you tell them. And if they ask you, then you know that they're genuinely interested in connecting.
That's it. Just don't see it as all my life I'm going to a networking event. Just see it as, okay, this evening or today, I'm going to meet this amazing group of people who I'm going to learn from, who maybe I can teach some things to. We're going to have a lovely time, and leave it as that. It's worth remembering that these feelings that you may be having are only natural, and everybody has been where you have been if you've never been to an event before. So it's really nothing to worry about. And I would say as well, always go with a little bit of a plan beforehand. Maybe have a little think about, okay, what do I want to get out of going to this networking event? Because you don't want to leave at the end of the night and think, oh, I didn't find out what I wanted to find out, or I didn't meet the person that I wanted to meet. So it's worth just making a little mental note of why is it that you want to go.
Yeah, for sure. One of our biggest values is about collaborating over competition, and this is something else that I think people can be a little bit nervous about, meeting other businesses that might be similar to theirs. But the trick here is to not see it as competition. Like, you might be able to share tips or advice with one another. You might be able to pass some work onto them if you're fully booked. I can't even begin to say how many things have come my way and opportunities have come my way or sales have come my way by networking with other bridal business owners. Like, I networked on a mass scale with bridal business owners, not just kind of there were no events to go to before we set them up. So it was kind of like nurturing relationships online and picking up the phone and introducing myself. Lots of those bridal business owners, if they were ever clearing stock, they would phone me first. If they had a bride that was looking for a particular style of bridesmaid dresses, they knew that I would do it because I had put myself out there. And that's something to kind of think about, that the more people who know about you and your business, the more opportunities that are going to come your way. So don't be worried about there being a competitor in the room or somebody that's at a different stage of your journey than you are. Maybe they've been in business a little bit longer, or everybody's on their own path and their own lane. And although it's easy to see it as competition, really try to break down that barrier in your head and tell yourself, put a spin on it in a different way. Like, if they're fully booked on a certain day, you could be their recommended supplier. Maybe then they're going to need a second photographer at a wedding one day. Perhaps, they also can refer work to you. And if it's not work, it could be tips and advice. So after you have been to a networking event, or you're thinking, yes, I'm going to give it a go, one of the really great things about our events is that they all come with local online communities as well. So you're able to then nurture that relationship a little bit more, because exactly what I've just said, the more people that know about you and your business, the better it's going to be for you. Like, think about all the money you're going to save on advertising by having lots of people kind of promoting your business for you. And that's how I always looked at networking. I looked at it as, if I can get my business out to all of these people, like, that's a lot of people talking about my business. So when brides are looking for a particular bridesmaid dress or style of suit or wedding dress, I want my business name to be coming up out there, and you can think of it like that way too. So not only do you get the networking event where you can put faces to names and chit chat and build those relationships, get your business out there, learn something too, because we always have some sort of speaker on at our event to offer something to help you with a part of building a business. But also you get that space, that local community online as well, that you can actually nurture that relationship a little bit more.
Yeah, that's right. And as well, with our events, they're predominantly hosted at wedding venues. So not only do you get all that, you also get the chance to have a little nosy around local wedding venues. Maybe they're new and upcoming, which is great, because, you know, there's chances and opportunities there to get in front of venues that will potentially be looking for suppliers as well. And our networking events, like we said all along, they're very informal. Sometimes they come in the form of a masterclass, a round table, maybe something creative, like get a photographer in. It's all tailored for things that wedding business owners want and need. We put you at the kind of forefront of our events.
Yeah, so hopefully we've inspired you to get out of your comfort zone, get out there and start meeting new people, and hopefully we've broken down that barrier that networking doesn't have to be scary. Be open, honest, approachable, and people are just going to love you and be happy to work with you. New opportunities are just around the corner. All you've got to do is put yourself out there a little bit more. If you want to find out about a local networking event near you, head on over to our website. We're going to put all of the links in the show notes. By the time this podcast goes out, there'll be changes happening on the website as well, so you can check those out too. Lots of lovely things coming your way for being part of our Wedding Business Hub community. And if you don't see an area near you and you're interested in becoming a brand ambassador for us, like we said, it's a paid position. We pay you to network in the area and get your name out there for your business. You also get loads of perks as well, such as wedding business coaching, discounts. You get to earn money on our products and courses. There's loads that we can kind of package up and give to you as well. So if you're interested in any of that, head on over to our website and check it out, but the links are in the show notes.
Go and check it out. Have a lovely day, evening, whatever time it might be, and we will see you on the next episode.
Bye.